Oh, one time me and Josh got a couples massage. Thank you. On television.
Hey, welcome back to the Stories on Tape podcast. I'm your host, Josh Robinson. I know it's been a minute, but I promise today's episode will be worth all of the waiting. Today's storyteller is one of my best friends. She was my TV wife for 2.5 years, one of the funniest people I know. Please give it up for the one, the only, Sierra Waggoner.
Grand entrance. Oh, baby, we are so freaking back. Josh Robinson, we are back.
We are so back, friend. I do love that you gave yourself applause because I would expect nothing less. Nothing less.
The crowd goes mild.
Friend, I think this might be the longest we've hung out together since we left Chattanooga.
Okay, but let's let all the Stories on Tape podcast viewers and listeners know we talk all the freaking time.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But yes.
We are texting, voice messaging, all the things.
Well, I will say, you're saying like this is the longest we've spent time together, but you're in my bedroom every single night because I never go home without you. You're always with me.
Oh, no. Why do you still have that?
You know what I have that goes with it is the Barbie.
I do. Yeah.
And she holds your face. But I thought this is a friends and family podcast. Maybe I won't show the Barbie. I'll just admit it. I have a Barbie. She's topless because I didn't like her outfit. And so in the office, I would use Josh to cover up her. And that has never changed. And so I keep it here in my bedroom. So I see Josh meddling Robinson every day. What a joy.
There he is. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I can't. Friend, I didn't know that still existed. I'm going to be so honest with you. And I don't think I have a picture of you in my apartment.
And that's where this podcast ends. Thank you so much. No, I have a picture with my boyfriend and that is all the photos in this home. So I ain't mad at you.
Listen, you know Travis. He hung up everything. I'm just here. You know.
Without Travis, you would have bricks and random things propping up your television. So shout out to Travis.
We'll get to that. Have no fear. All right, friend, let's start this podcast the way I've started, I think, almost all of them. Do you have a story that you can tell us if we've never met Sierra Waggoner before that might give us a little insight into who you are?
Yes. He did not prompt me on any of this, so I'm just making it up on the fly. Yeah. I think something that would tell you a lot about who I am would be this summer, my best friend, who you know her, Lakin. She's my best friend from childhood. We've known each other since we were little kids. I flew to Vegas and I ordained her wedding dressed in an Evel Knievel costume. And I think that, and I had, obviously scripture was told, fun, silly memories were told. And I think that kind of sums up the type of girl you're hanging out with. Wouldn't you say?
100%. 100%. Do you think that's the first time scripture has been read while someone was wearing an Evel Knievel costume?
You know what? Put me in Ripley's Believe It or Not, honey.
I was going to say, we're setting a Guinness World Record right here, right now. If you can prove otherwise, let us know.
Please
let us live in this fantasy. Thank you so much. So Sierra, we go back weirdly many years unknowingly. I worked in the town that Sierra went to college in, and your junior or senior year, you hosted this big event on campus that I was judging.
That is so crazy to me. Did you not weren't you like, I want to be her friend? I was acting insane. And I was making fun of your college while I was at my college. We called it Ding Har Ding.
And it's crazy to think that we go back because that was in
2018
or 19.
Yeah.
And then we didn't work together until 2022.
I know. And before I ever laid eyes on you, Rebecca, our boss, who we love so much, and Todd, love you, brother, she told me your name, your first and last name. Mm-hmm. She's like, this is going to be your partner in crime. This is your co-host. We're doing all the things together when we had gotten hired. I go to look up Josh Robinson, 87 mutual friends. It was insane. And they could not have picked two better people to spend each other's lives with.
So if you are seeing us for the first time and have never seen us before together, Sierra and I hosted a Sierra. I think I just called you Sarah. Anyways, um,
Interesting, Jamie.
Sierra and I hosted a lifestyle show together in Chattanooga, Tennessee called The Daily Refresh, and we built it from the ground up. We're going to get into all of this, I'm sure, but just a little context as to what we're talking about right now. So, what do you remember, friend, about the first time we hung out before that weekend before we started work? Do you remember, like, what were your thoughts about me when we had dinner?
First initial thought when I was like, hey, I parked over here and you had to come find me and meet me and do all the things because that was
Mhm.
going to be the rest of your life, me
Right.
navigating the world and I need your guidance. I wore high heels on purpose because I needed my co-host to be a little, I mean, I came from Arkansas prior to some of them Arkansas men, they're a little short, okay? So I felt like the Jolly Green Giant interviewing these people in a rice field. And so Josh Robinson comes up and he is 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh. And the first thing, you have this spirit with every single person you meet. Anyone watching that knows you is going to be like, duh, that's how we feel about him. But like, never an awkward moment, never anything, but like, you're so kind. You're so excited to see me. The enthusiasm matched back and forth. And we jumped right into every topic under the sun. And we had so much in common. I will never have as much in common with anyone I probably ever co-host beside the way we grew up. It was just crazy to sit down. We went to State of Confusion and we were new to the city. We didn't know. We love State of
Nope.
Confusion now. And we went and we sat and I think we were like, let's just talk for an hour. I think we sat for 3 hours. And that's what I remember about you.
Hmm.
What about
Yes.
me?
I my turn. I love the heel story. I tell that to a lot of people when they're like, "What's Sierra like?" I'm like, "Well, she did wear heels the first time we met to make sure that she could, and she did for the 2.5 years that I knew her." Um, I just remember similar of like reaching out to mutual friends, Jacob and Andy and Molly Kate, and saying like, "Should I know this person?" And they're like, "Probably." And then we met at State of Confusion and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be fun."
It's gonna be
She's
so.
not she's not afraid. She's not scared. We're going to laugh. We're going to have a great time. And it was like I love someone that I can immediately hug
Yes.
like and I just knew that this was going to work.
I would have kissed you right on the mouth after that dinner. I was like, I love this man. This is going to be a great thing. I texted our future bosses. We hadn't even
Uh-huh.
started yet. And I said, you just hired my best friend. Literally.
And here we are.
And here we are, honey.
And here we are. Let's go back just a little bit. Tell me a little bit about you grew up in Middle Tennessee, outside of Nashville. One of three. Tell me a
Yes.
little bit about being the baby of the family of the Waggoners.
Okay. So I grew up in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. If you don't know what that is, it's because it's teeny tiny little. Josh has been there. I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Yes.
He is part of the family. Um, I was, you know, the story I want to tell. I was a reverse vasectomy baby. My parents were done having children. They had Skylar in summer. And then my dad was like, let's put this thing in reverse and let's get us another child. And that's me. So my brother was 9 years older. I was, my sister's 6 years older. And so I was no surprise. And everyone had established their lives. And then comes me, and they did not know I was going to be insane. Okay. And so I give a lot of the, I give my flowers to my sister. And I don't know if everyone would say give her the flowers for this, but the reason I am the way I am is because I was their little entertainment. They didn't have, Skylar's kind of a lower key guy and Summer is too. And so the out pops me and I'm like a spitting image of my father who will say and do anything. And so my sister would be like, hey, Sierra, when dinner comes out, jump on the table and dance. And I would not blink and do it. And so I was just always their source of entertainment. And I think that's why I'm in the entertainment business.
Yeah, and it's true, everyone. I've witnessed it firsthand. Yeah, Sierra has always said that like her goal in life is to make Summer, her sister, laugh. And so
In life.
that's what it is, and that's what she does. Um, the first time I heard this story of Sierra being a reverse vasectomy baby was when on live
Live on television.
television.
I've told it so many times I didn't know it was bad. I literally was like walking out, we're leaving the show. We're like, hey, what a great show. And Rebecca grabs me and she's like, you literally can't say that. I'm like, why not?
It was just I Why did that come up in conversation? Couldn't tell you. Don't know
It
why.
just did again.
Right. Welcome to live television, friends. And on our show, we had the first 8 minutes to truly do whatever we wanted to talk about what within reason. And Sierra really ran with that a lot of the time. And I loved it. It made our improv skills were sharp.
Oh my
sharp.
God. We were created for this. I will say now, working where I work, I beg for that time and they're like, no, like, no. We have so many talking points that are fully planned out by all three producers. It was just me, Josh, and a dream. And I'm like, so it's National Pasta Salad Day. Let's talk about it. We were flying blind.
Always. I think my favorite, quote, national holiday that we ever celebrated was National Hot Toddy Day. One, yes, we did make hot toddies live on television. Two, are either of us bartenders? Absolutely not. Three, did either of us have a drink before? Well, I don't know about you, Fred. When
21 years old, first drink
okay,
ever.
yeah, I was gonna say, did either of us grow up around alcohol? Absolutely not. But there is video of Sierra making hot toddies and just throwing halves of lemons over her shoulder into
what did
our
I say?
kitchen. What
Power
did you say?
Baby. That's what I was saying on live TV. And like our bosses were probably like, what did we do? Like it was just chaos.
Is she okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
So grew up in Middle Tennessee, went to West Tennessee for college. Our college is very similar, which made our friendship so much faster because we didn't have to explain all of the very uniqueness of both of those colleges. And then working in Arkansas as a reporter, and you got to do some pretty cool things. Super Bowl. Tell me a little bit about just some of the things you got to do there.
Well, it's so funny in like different stages of your career. I know you feel the same way where like, this was such a big deal. And now I'm like, oh, but like Super Bowl was iconic. And let me tell you all the truth about Super Bowl. We were market numbers for TV, just going to give you all a little education. Number one, New York City. Josh is sitting in it. Lowest of low would be market 180. And me and Josh Robinson started our careers both in market 180. I was in Jonesboro, Arkansas. He was in Jackson, Tennessee. And look how we did. Look how good we look at us. But I was in Arkansas, and in 2020, Fox had the Super Bowl, and I worked for a Fox station. And they said, we're going to send you, they had 2 Super Bowl winners that had like a giveaway winner. And so the couple was going, and they're like, how cool would it be if we sent someone? And I was like, please, I'm begging. There was only like a few other reporters. Like it was a very small station. I was like, please, please, please. And so she ended up sending me, but I didn't have a photog, and Lord knows why I need one. I didn't have anything. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to bring my dad. So Dad had a press pass, and we went out there and we got after it. And it was the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And it was absolute magic and so much fun. And that was my kind of first step into like seeing other people in press that I wanted to be like. And they were so amazing. I don't want to do sports. Everyone in my family thinks I want to do sports. I'm good. Me and Josh are like, we're friends. We're good. But yeah, that was really wonderful. We had a flood come through Jonesboro, which is really, really sad. It was also in 2020. And I got to virtually interview some really sick people. But once again, that was on Zoom. But it just felt really big and cool at that time. And in Jonesboro, we were a small station, and we were the number 2 of the 2 stations. So like but WBBJ is number 1 no matter what, honey. We were number 2. So in a small town, you can't imagine. But because the commercial schedule would be so funky, and like they didn't have because you have to sell those commercials to put them in. If y'all need to know TV things, I want to tell you guys because it's so fun to like behind the curtain, as Josh Robinson would say.
Go back.
So there wasn't a lot of commercial spots. So there was just a commercial of me that I would redo every week, and they would play it over and over. I'm talking, I'm go in a restaurant, they're playing it. I would go in a bar, there it is playing. And it's like, it was happening all the time. So it was like a small town, everybody dies famous in a small town type situation. And then after 3 years there, I saw the Chattanooga job, and I was like, that's my dream, and I'll be so much closer to my family. And then here we are, me and Josh Robinson, match made in heaven.
And it was, y'all, we went from sitting on stools to
my nightmare.
It was, looking back on that, friend, I don't know how we did that that was tough.
It was not only tough, but like, I couldn't wear a single outfit up there that looked good. Like, it was a disaster, actually. But then We wanted an anchor table so bad. What does Josh do? Josh, tell us. What did you do?
I went online and I ordered, it's supposed to be like an outdoor bar
Tiki hut thing.
situation.
Yeah.
And nope, we put it on wheels and we made it our table for our show at the top of the show. And
That's
and
so
then we
funny.
used it for all kinds of things.
I wonder if they're still using it.
I'm sure they are.
I watch. I keep up. I'm a News Channel 9 girl for the rest of my life. I freaking love all of them. I haven't seen our tiki table in a while. Todd probably has it in his office with some Texas paraphernalia.
It's sitting in the sales pit.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it was a struggle to get that bad boy in our office too, because I think it got delivered on a holiday, so like hardly anyone was around, and they were dropping off like 4 different things as well, and so they had to like take half the stuff out of the back of whatever they were dropping it off in, and then we wheeled it. It was a whole thing.
I think it was on a Sunday or something. Like, it was very
random. It was wild, but we loved it. We learned a lot. What do you remember about those first, like, July, August, September? We started the show September of 2022, and like I said, we built it from the ground up. Did you know anything about the show? I don't know if we've ever really talked about this before coming into it, other than it was a brand new show.
I knew it was a brand new show. I knew what they were wanting from the show. But like, the difference between us coming in and anyone else, like, you know, your contract ends and you go to a new job and a new show. This show did not exist. In 2022, it was yellow tape on the floor. We didn't even have the full set yet. Our kitchen was being built. Like, so I knew what they had said that they wanted, but I wasn't sure how we were going to execute it, because there were us on the team and that was all. And we were like, we'll give it our all. We're going to try. But yeah, no, I hope that we gave them what they wanted. What do you think? What did they tell you?
I honestly don't remember. Like, I don't think there was much other than there's the other show, This and That, that's been around for 20 plus years now.
James
and I know
Howard,
they were saying,
we're obsessed with you.
Love him. We love you, James Howard. James Howard TV, follow him. And they were wanting it. They were trying their best to make sure that it was different than that, which I think hiring the 2 of us alone accomplished that mission. But I don't know that I knew much else other than that.
I just knew they wanted it really, really young and fresh. And I remember Todd throwing around the word, like, I feel like he was like influencer-esque, but on television. So it's like daytime TV, but it's the young, the hip, the cool. No offense, James Howard. We know you're all of those things. But it was just adding another layer, because every single show in Chattanooga had 0 of that.
Right.
And so he was like, let's be the difference, and we'll have 2 shows. And so we were like, hey, you hired us and we will try our best. And let me tell you, hey, I just want to say one thing, humble brag, executive producer sitting right here. We were number 1. We were alive for 3 years. We were number 1. I just want to say that. It felt so good. Hallelujah.
We did pretty well. I'll pat ourselves on the back. We made an hour of live television 5 days a week for 2.5 years. Like, and
we put our blood, sweat, and tears.
And lots of, sorry if you heard that, the cat feeder just went off. Lots of tears, I feel like. There were, especially those first 3 months, because we were all learning. No one had ever created a TV show there before. So we were all just like, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. Some of it worked. Some of it didn't. I think one thing that I will always love is Sierra's got something to say.
When don't I? I showed my coworkers that the other day, and they were like, and what was this? I was like, well, that was about the last 2.5 minutes, but we had already written the other 7, 6, 5 minutes. And so we're in the business of television, not math. Okay. Just so you know, if you need it, if you got to use your fingers, that's fine. But yes, here's something to say. It was so freaking fun. Thank you for doing that. You always like gave me a sweet, like, you always let me be myself, and that was so nice. And you literally created an entire segment for me to be an idiot, and it was the most fun of my day. So I really appreciate that.
It was never an idiot. It was just like, y'all, Sierra's brain is something that should be studied in a great way, because the way it works will never not astound me. And she brought that to television every day. And again, that had not been in Chattanooga in any capacity to my knowledge. And so I think the 2 of us together really worked, and it was
for sure
so much fun, and a barrel of I miss it, friend. I miss sitting next to you
I
every
know.
night.
I miss
It
sitting
was
next to you. I really do. And I need to throw this in. I'm sorry I keep like we're interviewers. We both are. I
right.
know this is yours. But like they had never seen Kooky Bird Crazy Girl on television, but they have also you were so brave and the first day you said, "You know what?" You told our entire conference room you were like, "I just want to let everyone know like I will be out as a gay man on television." And everyone at News Channel 9 was like, "Heck yeah. Like that's amazing." And so they had never seen me, but they had never ever seen anyone like you because other people maybe they are and they don't tell anyone because it's television and you came out with it and you shined a light on so many organizations that were LGBTQ that no one even knew about maybe or had never been able to be on daytime television, especially in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So like we together were very different and what a blessing you were to their screens truly.
Well, thank you, friend. I was telling someone that the other day. I think we, as the show is winding down, we did, lots of recaps and things, and we realized day one I talked about Travis
Yeah.
because our birthdays also line up. Sierra's is the 5th, mine's the 12th, and then our show was the next week. So we had celebrated crazy things, and Travis had sent some stuff, and so we showed pictures of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, day one, I talked about my then just boyfriend, Travis, now my now husband. So it was Chattanooga was a very special place, and I did have several people who came on the show say like, "Thank you for just being you. We never
Yeah.
thought we would see this in Chattanooga." So I was very proud to be that person for people, and I hope I did them justice, and I hope
Oh
that
my
I
gosh.
represented them to the best of my ability.
No one could have done it better. What did that feel like for you? Because in Jackson, that
Uh
was
huh.
not a thing. What was it
Correct.
like for you to come out on air in Chattanooga? Because that was people may not have thought it was a big deal because you had a boyfriend that was later your fiance, but this was a huge deal, especially if you grew up the way that we did.
Right. It was. I think it was the first. So I had been on tour with Hamilton for 9 months with Travis. Humble brag.
Oh, I tell everyone, literally everyone.
I had been on tour with Travis for about 9 months before that, and so I had left West Tennessee and like been around lots of queer people, and so it just kind of became normal. It like helped me realize that like the bubble I grew up in isn't the normal,
Right,
and it's not an issue for so many people that like me saying I'm gay, they're like, yeah, cool. So are the 17 other people over there.
right.
So like find something else that's more interesting about yourself. So I needed that because if for a long time like I started coming out in Jackson and I became like the out gay person that a lot of people knew. And so like being surrounded by queer people was very nice. So when I moved there, it was the first city I ever lived in that I was out. And I would say the biggest city I had lived in, like permanently and being out. And so I think it was very special. It was very humbling too, to get the response and
Yeah,
meeting other people in the community, who are also huge community leaders who are a part of the LGBTQ community. It's just it felt right. It was a little scary just because you never know how people are going to react. As you know, people write in messages all the time, and
don't
it's
I know?
insane. It's insane what people think is okay to just send a message about. Um, Sorry, my cat's now having the zoomies at
Did you say
our
my
dog.
cat? I thought you were cat sitting. Is this your
We
cat?
are cat sitting. I just say my cat because it's easier.
Isn't the owner of your cat someone I saw in a musical theater play
Did you
perform?
see Beauty and the Beast?
I freaking did.
Yes, then yes, his mom is in the ensemble.
Hello, your
Uh,
mom's famous and amazing, and I'm obsessed. It was so freaking good. That's another thing
mhm.
we're gonna talk about later. Theater. This is an important thing we're talking about, obviously. Anyways, cool story, Josh. Anyway, no, but
Move
like,
on.
no, but still,
No, so yeah, it was really special. I'm very grateful that News Channel 9 allowed me to be myself and were never like scared of doing that. I mean, we brought drag queens on the show, which is hysterical,
it
and
was
love them
everything.
love them so much. Um, it was just I was very proud. We got to go to Chattanooga Pride one year as News Channel 9, and we interviewed people, and that was an absolute blast. Like it was really special, and I'm really grateful that I was able to do that.
I'm glad too. And as I've said maybe 42 times already in the first 25 minutes of this interview, I grew up the same way as Josh. We went to the same colleges with the same backgrounds and religions. And so you taught me a lot of things, and that has carried over into my current life. And because of you and the education, like, I'm with it. I know what's good to say. I know how to be there for people. Like, you have instilled so many qualities in me that I needed. So I learned so much from you, and just your courage. Your courage was everything to me, because I know that was not the easiest thing in the world. And you laid the house down boots, and people had no bad reviews, which is crazy. We were in small town Tennessee. I never saw a hate message about Josh Robin ever, which is crazy. We were on air for a long time, and we were all up in their business. We were on their screens all the time. They were so kind and welcoming, and it was refreshing. Daily.
We got there.
Yeah.
No, it was really special. And I thank you for being someone that was like open-minded and like being able to like listen and hear and learn when things were brought up, just because I know that's not everyone's strong suit. So I'm very glad that you were my teammate and we were able to make a lot of that happen.
Absolutely. I ride for you all day, and I know you were the same way. It was so good.
All right, we're done being sappy. Let's talk. I think I have to, because it's on my mind, because we have to talk about the birthday video you made me and the incident.
Drew, this is for you, brother. Love you.
Drew Knightsey. Go listen to his episode of Stories on Tape. Walk us through this whole process, because I need to just hear it from your point of view again, and I'm so glad I will have it recorded.
The way that I told this story on Friday to my new co-host, and he was cracking up. Literally just told this story. So I am so happy to retell it. One thing about me, I love to retell a story. One thing also about me, I never told a short story long. A long story short. It's always a short story long. So I'll get into it quick. So for Josh's birthday, 1, happy birthday. 2, as he was saying, September was our month. We celebrated hard in September. And so I was like, I got to do something. He did something really special for me. So I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. So I texted the most important people to text in this scenario: Travis and Meredith. And I think your mom. I think I texted Mama Dawn too.
Probably. Mm-hmm.
And I said, I need to get a plethora of Josh's favorite people. I like hand-picking people. I want this person. I want this person. I ended up with some childhood best friends. Like, it was great. So I said, I need everyone to send me, and I assigned them. Okay, so Meredith was happy. Mama Dawn, birthday. Papa Rod, 2. You get the gist, right? I didn't ask him to sing because I'm an idiot, and I had to edit it myself together, okay? And this is going on air, and I was surprising him with everyone he's ever loved in his life, okay? And so it's happy birthday to you. And I just, assigned it like that, okay? And I said, Travis, I need you to get this person to say 2, get this person to say happy, get Drew to say it. And he was like, okay, cool. And so I go to edit it together. I'm looking, I was up late, honey. Oh, you know me, I'm always running a little late. And I'm getting together, and I'm like, oh no, I got Drew to say the word it. And if you ever sang the happy birthday song in your whole life, like I know you have at least 1,000,000 times, it is not in there. And so my editing skills are the best in the entire world, as we all know. So I put it all together, and then I take Drew's, I mute it, and it's him saying it, and I mute it, and I say, you hear my voice, 2. So he's going, okay, I'll say it, you say 2. Ready?
2.
I wish I had the video. It was ridiculous. And so fast forward, I'm at Josh and Travis's wedding. Beautiful wedding. We've got to talk about it. It was so good. And I meet Drew, and he says, Swagner? I was in the restroom, and I come out and I said, it! It was so good to meet him.
I remember, so Sierra surprised me with this video. We were watching it live on air, and I remember seeing it get to Drew, and I know Drew's voice. And I said, 1, not his voice. 2, that didn't match up with whatever the words were actually coming out of his mouth. So after I'm sure after the show, I was like, what happened? And she was like, yeah, I asked Drew to say the word it, and that's not in the song. And I said, you are so right. And then I did ask, like, why didn't you just have everyone sing the song and just clip it together?
And when he said that, I was like, genius.
Next time
you're born. Oh, by the way,
Tell me.
September, you're turning 31 years old. 32. That is so freaking crazy to me. Seriously, I'm turning 30 this year. I don't know how to feel.
I was going to say, you're turning 30.
Yeah. And you know how much
Yeah.
crap I gave you for that. So like, imagine how I'm feeling. You wouldn't believe how much I work out now because I am trying to like get fit because I'm turning 30 and that's when it all goes downhill.
I believe your exact quote was old.
Which is so crazy. And I apologize.
Because you're there now. Welcome.
I'm not there. Actually, no, I'm not. I've still got a few more months if you could tone it down over there.
I promise you will wake up on the day after your 30th birthday and your body will start to just fall up. Actually, probably not because you're actually taking care of your body. I, on the other hand, am not doing that. And it's,
You look
I'm
great,
still eating.
though.
Thank you. I do have a Mountain Dew sitting right over there. So.
And on the count of 3, we're going to say what little Josh calls a Mountain Dew. 1, 2, 3. Green
Coke.
There was a delay in the Zoom, but you get it.
You heard us. You heard us. Yeah, so that's just one of the many things that happened on live television with Sierra. What are some of your favorite memories of working on the show together? What comes to mind when you think back on the Daily Refresh?
Oh my gosh.
There's
Well,
so much.
I now work for a television show that's been around for a really, really long time, and there's a lot of people. And so when I tell them the things that Josh and I did to make this show exist, they are like, there's like 12 people for that. And it was just Josh and I making an hour show come to life. So it was a lot of get there early in the morning, leave late, late, late at night. But we were happy to. It was a labor of love. There was no choice. You have to get the show ready for the next day. We have to have guests, all the things. So honestly, my favorite memories, being out in the community, anything philanthropic we did or we hosted or were a part of, you're in the moment doing it, but you don't realize like you are helping put these amazing different things on a platform. I mean, the Met Gala, we're saving dogs' lives, or all that other stuff. Girls Inc. Obsessed
Pink,
with
yes.
So many different things that we did that were like given. And another thing, I think you and I talked about this, like it's another day for us. And no matter how stressed, no matter how much we didn't sleep, no matter how frustrating it was that this guest canceled, we love you. But like now there's 5 minutes to fill. It's a little stressful. You know what I mean? That was their most exciting day. And so I think my favorite memories are always like chatting in the green room. That's my favorite part of every day. We get to go mix and mingle, and their friends, their clients to friends to family. My favorite ever is me, you, and Rebecca late night in the office. Just being silly. Rebecca is our boss, okay? She is our
First and foremost,
she is our boss. Second and foremost, she's our freaking friend, okay? And that's hard. That pipeline's hard. She means business, and you do not mess with her. She's scary. But like it's kind of like God. Like you fear him, but you love him. And so Rebecca,
Becky is God. Yes.
Anytime we were out in the community, especially together.
Yes.
And in fact, I have a story to tell.
Tell me.
All right. One time, it was a beautiful Sunday, and Travis was in town because he was traveling on the musical Hamilton, if you didn't know. Okay. And so me and Josh are in Chattanooga, and Josh is like, come to brunch. Me and Travis want to hang out with you. I'm like, that sounds so fun. So we went to Honey Seed, shout out. It's so fun to be on a podcast and be allowed to like not get in trouble or put in promotional consideration that we're saying businesses out loud that we love. Because normally, TV world, you can't you can't just promote things like that willy-nilly. But Honey Seed, we love you. Great brunch. And we went to McKay's. Shout out Wagster, Jessica Wagster. We love you. So we go to McKay's, and I know you know where this is going. And me and Josh are out together on a Sunday, which is normal, but you know. And so I am looking for the Britney Spears memoir because, listen, literature is important to me, okay? And I'm looking for it everywhere, and I can't seem to find it. And then I hear someone be like, oh my gosh, Josh Robinson. And I said, skirt. And Travis and Josh are over here at McKay's. And McKay's is big, but my spidey senses, I hear the word Josh and I'm pumped up and I want to be a part of it. And she's talking to him and she's so excited to see him. And I'm like, just wait. I'm about to make this viewer's day. And I go up there, no context. And I say, yeah, we hang out on the weekends. And Josh dies laughing. Travis kind of looks, he's like, what is happening? And Josh dies laughing and says, hey, Sierra, I just want to let you know she knows me from when I was in the play Something Rotten. She didn't even know we were on TV. And I was like, I'm going to go jump in a bookshelf. It was so embarrassing.
I forgot about that.
I haven't stopped thinking about it once.
It was, I was going to see, yes, love that memory. I was going to see, do you remember the first time we ever got recognized?
No.
We were at my favorite place near work, Zaxby's, just down the road. And it was early on, like probably a month in.
Yeah.
And we were in line inside waiting on our food. And the lady behind us, I guess, had been watching and realized, she was like, "Hey, aren't you guys the new show on the TV?" We're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, thank you so much." She was like, "Can I give you one note?" Or she was like, "Can I give you a critique?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." She was like, "You change clothes a lot and we can't ever figure out if it's live or not. So if you could stop doing that." And we were like, "Uh-huh. Thank you so much. Very nice to meet you. We're good."
She wasn't wrong. And I do remember like being excited that she recognized it. She wasn't wrong about that, by the
Right.
way. But
But
we were having like a trauma lunch, like prayer and trauma. And we were like, how are we going to make this work? There's some things going on. What are we going to do? So we had like snuck off for our hour break to be together. And then she said that. We were like, oh. Also, can I talk about how at my current job, my executive producer has a calendar and has all of my outfits labeled. So when I have pre-tapes at the end of the show, this is what Rebecca wanted. This is what you, executive producer, wanted. We just didn't have the manpower or the time.
correct.
So like
Correct.
this outfit I have to wear on May 25th, but I pre-taped in it today and that's why I have it on. And then I keep it in the closet there. And then it's always like, no matter what, the outfits are planned. So it always looks live. And so that lady at Zaxby's was on to something, but she didn't know that we were a 2-man team for a 1-hour show.
I will say the thought of that never once crossed my mind.
Rebecca said that once. She was like, you need to come in with the outfit you're going to wear the next day. I was like, I don't even know my name in the morning. Like I cannot there's no way. And so we kind of let it go by the wayside. But the shows here do it. The other shows that aren't our show, our two competitors, they're always in a million different outfits. And I'm like, maybe that is a little peculiar.
It truly never once crossed my mind.
We had so much other things to think about.
We would do pre-tapes, but then we would play them in the show as if they were live. But obviously, like, why did Sierra change dress? Why did Josh have a different jacket on?
Why does Josh's beard a little thicker there, but it's a little thinner in 10 minutes? Yeah.
Why is his makeup off? Whatever. Yeah. I think a favorite moment of mine is when we got to include our families in the show. And we got to do this a few different ways. I think my favorite of yours is when your dad came to be live in the studio and made his famous stew.
Yep. All right. Okay.
Tell us the story.
Okay. I'm trying to be better about interrupting, so I was waiting to see if you were going to tell it. So I was being quiet.
No, we want your POV.
All right. So it's 2022, and the station is still very particular about like COVID rules. So the only way you're getting into the station is if you work there or if you're a guest on our show. Okay. And so I wanted my parents to come live in studio. They were coming to Chattanooga. They were so excited. And I was like, Rebecca, my parents are coming. And listen, she is our friend, but she is a rule freaking follower. Like she is. And she was like, oh no, they can't come on the show unless they're on the show. And we need content because we're still building the show from thin air. She's like, so if any one of them want to be on the show, and I'm like, what would you have them do? And she was like, what about a cooking segment? My mom's the only one that cooks in our household. My dad has one recipe because he was a fireman. Okay. At the fire hall on snow days, they made this like, it's actually amazing. It's like filet mignon beef stew and it's delish. And so I called my parents and I'm like, Dad, you're going to have to be on TV because I know Mom's not going to. She's the quiet queen in our lives. And so he was like, Cece, I'll do it. I'm like, okay. So he comes in and he's making his beef stew and it was a lot of preparation. He made a whole bunch for everyone and he was so excited. But he was nervous, which was very strange because you know him. He don't have a nervous bone in his body, but he was nervous to be on live television. I guess that's normal. Okay. I didn't know for him because we're the same, but okay. So we get up there and we have to pretend like everything is a working kitchen and it's really hot and all that. So he has a cast iron skillet and he picks it up with his bare hand, picks it up and moves it. And I said, and Rebecca's in my ear. By the way, boss also producing in my ear because our producer is co-hosting with me. It was a small staff, forever grateful, but it was tiny. It's crazy. And so she's in my ear. She's like, that's hot. The pan is hot that he's holding. I said, Dad, isn't that hot? And he looks at the camera holding this cast iron skillet and goes, ow. And then he said the thing that he has said my entire life that I hate. Okay, so here goes. We are from rural Chapel Hill, honey. And if there's a good cut of meat on your plate, I think he learned this at the fire station as well. He calls it, Josh, why don't you tell us?
He calls it meat candy.
Hate it.
Meat candy.
Meat.
Ugh.
Yeah, ASMR that. Meat candy. Are you okay? He says it on live television, honey. He's like, "Ooh, meat candy," and I was like, "There's no way you just said that."
And he did.
And that's Josh's. Josh talks about that more than most memes. Like, that is your fave, and I love that.
It is one of my favorite memories of the show. It was just because I think you had told us that, like, yeah, he calls it this, but I'm sure he won't say it. No, he did.
One thing about him, he gonna say it. He gonna say
and
it.
That's where you get it from, friend. And we know this.
It's
and
true.
We know this.
That's why I was confusing why he was nervous, but he wasn't too scared to say meat candy. Do y'all think that's crazy? Sound off in the comments.
Please let us know. We know the answer is yes.
Yes.
And then we also somehow convinced our boss to let us travel one weekend to your home and my home to interview our families for our Thanksgiving episode.
We did hometowns like it was nobody's business. And let me tell you, that was fun.
It was an experience, to say the least. It was
because we had to make a pit stop at a very interesting place, and we're not going to talk about it if that's okay with you.
Happy to not.
And it was
that the same trip?
Yes, that's why the vibes were weird to begin, because we had to go to that person's house first.
That's right.
And then we got to go to our family. So it was like,
that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we were at Sierra. We went to Sierra's first because we went Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis.
Right.
So we went to Sierra's family first. And we went to your favorite Mexican restaurant.
Obviously, because it was for Thanksgiving, and my family is like, nobody cares about turkey. This could be controversial, so just plug your ears if so. But because you have your Thanksgiving on both sides of the family, on my dad's side of the family, we eat traditional Thanksgiving. On my side of the family, we eat Mexican food, and we get some of it catered from Amigos. Shout out. I'm best friends with the owner. You know I am. So I called up Hugo, and he's like, yeah, we brought a camera crew. Josh is behind the camera. He's got a margarita over here. My grandparents are there. My nephew, like, the twins weren't even born yet. That's so crazy. So yeah, we did the hometown tour. We went there. And then I got to go from my parents' house. We spent the night. He was like, we were watching probably the 40,000th home video. And
That's
then Josh
right.
I think you texted me and you were like, I'm going to go call Travis. I'm like, go. Seriously, go upstairs. He's like, all right, this is fun and all, but on to the next. And then we went to Memphis, and we had so much fun. Tell us everything.
But before we went to Memphis, do you remember what your dad got me that morning before we left?
Of course. Of course I do.
If you know me, you know that while I was in Jackson and occasionally in Chattanooga, my breakfast every morning was a medium cheese stick and a large Coke from Sonic. And I ate that at 8 a.m. every morning for close to 3 years in Jackson. And I talked about it on the show. And so I woke up that morning at Sierra's house, and her dad had gone to Sonic and gotten like the largest order of cheese sticks you can get.
Go big or go home.
Correct. And I believe the largest drink you can get. And I did partake in many cheese sticks.
Of course.
And
it broke my mom's heart because she wanted to make you this big breakfast. But if you know Josh Robinson, he is so picky. And she had like avocado and vegetables. And I was like, that ain't gonna work. And Dad was like, one moment, please. This is how you Sonic. Okay?
Correct. Shannon, I love you. I love you so much. But
I just want you to be a healthy growing boy.
and I appreciate it. I don't know if I would have survived your household growing up. I don't.
You would not have.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. So then we make the 3-hour drive from Nashville, where we've interviewed Sierra's family. Like, grandparents have come over, siblings are all there. We've got I think, were the twins born by then?
No, she wasn't even pregnant yet. They're 2 years old right now.
Oh, but JJ was.
Oh yeah, and he was
funny. Yeah, that's who. Okay.
He was making like funny faces the whole time.
Yes, that's right.
Really cute.
So we learned all about Sierra's family. We drive to Memphis, and we go to church with my family.
No, first stop was that place I still dream about. That restaurant where it's Mexican food, but you can get like fries or something.
Oh, Booyahs.
Booyah! Booyah, booyah.
Yes.
And listen, I'm with the sisters. I'd die for them. I think, no, we went and chilled at your house for like a little while. I got the grand tour. And then
Uh-huh.
the Robinsons are always, if you know Josh, like his family's the exact same, they're always booked and busy. So I think somebody was coming from a wedding shower, someone was coming from here, there. And then we all went to Booyah's together.
Yes, that tracks. That makes sense. Oh, I forgot we did see, this is why two heads are better than one. We went to Booyah's, and then went to church together.
Yeah.
And then
which was really
left.
special for me because that's like where that is what we grew up do. Like it was I was at his church and I was like, oh my gosh, this is literally my church, except for this one's hipper. Come on, Memphis.
And listen, that's not the church we grew up going to. So you got a
Upgraded
different
version.
experience. Correct. I would agree with that. Then we went back to my house and all six of us sitting on couches and chairs, just talking about our family and stories. And it was a wild time. And then we went to Rafferty's.
Oh, that.
And didn't you have a friend or something show up?
My friend from Memphis follows my location. And like, I haven't been in Memphis in a hot minute because I was so I hadn't been that way. She saw my location. She had also been to church. She comes right in and is like, hey. And I'm like, Mandy, like, what is happening? But I went to Rafferty's, you guys, and I got Josh's favorite meal of all time. Y'all know I ain't picky. Well, I don't know if all of you know, but people that know me know. I'll eat anything. But I sat down and I said, I want the Josh Robinson special. So I got chicken tenders with that. What's that sauce called? Comeback sauce?
They just call it's the strip sauce. The chicken strip sauce is what they call it.
Oh, come on, strip sauce. Come on, strip it down now. Ooh-wee. Yeah, it was delicious. Where did comeback come from? Comeback sauce.
What is that? That's something. What is comeback sauce?
Jack's.
That's what it is.
Is
yes.
It?
Jack's. I haven't thought about Jack's in a hot minute either.
Yeah.
That was a staple in college, wasn't it?
Yes, it sure freaking was. I know it was when you were at Brim Group too. That's all we had.
Absolutely. Correct. Yes. It was one of 3 choices we had. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, all the time. Just all the connections of our life sprinkling in. It's insane. All the time.
Oh, you'll love this. Speaking of connections, I have to tell you this story. I am currently selling merchandise at O'Mary on Broadway, and my coworker last night, we were talking and she said, oh, I'm from Campbellsville, Kentucky. And in my brain, I was like, there's a very, very, very small part of my brain that has a connection to that. Why? And we keep chatting for a second. And then I said, hold on. Does the name John Andrew mean anything to you? And she went, he was my professor in college. I said, oh, well, we went to college together and we were a part of this children's improv group. She said, the Pied Pipers. And I said,
of course.
Oh, you like no. She's like, wait, I know the song. And she stood there for a second. She goes, we're the Pied Pipers. We sing and we play. And I said, oh, no. So she texted John and was like, hey, I was just chatting with my manager and his name is Josh and he was in Pied Pipers with you. And John responds with a picture of me and him eating ice cream. And he says, this guy is your boss?
In New York City, the biggest city in the world. You want to know something about them Pied Pipers? They're going to talk about it. Because it was so important and special to you guys. And I love that so much. Also, while we're on the subject of you being a manager, obsessed, by the way, of course, always. He's always going to get, on accident, like managerial position. Can we talk about who you just sold a program to?
Oh, I did. Are we talking about Tina Fey?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, I was like, which one are we going for? Yeah, I was standing there, and if you've come to the show, you'll know that the lobby is very small, and so I'm selling like as soon as you walk in, and so occasionally I've caught myself kind of like just people watching, and then I'll like clock back in, and I did that the other day because I saw someone walking up, and when I turned, I went, Tina Fey.
Casual.
I said, hey, I did not say that. I said, hi, how can I help you? So if you do see Tina Fey wearing a sweatshirt with Maya Rudolph's face on it, that is my doing.
And you gave her a discount. If your boss is watching, no, you didn't.
I didn't. No, I didn't. But it's been really cool. It's Maya Rudolph's in the show right now, so that's just very fun, and she's hysterical. John Hamm was there this week, and Gwyneth Paltrow.
That is crazy, Josh.
Correct.
Are you
Correct.
loving it? Tell me everything.
Oh, it's so fun. If 12-year-old Josh knew that he'd be working in a Broadway theater as his job, like, that just is insane. We also love that it's a 75-minute play with no intermission. So we are
In and out, honey.
moving, moving and grooving.
What's
Um,
been
but
the
it's
longest one that you've done so far?
Um, Hell's Kitchen, the Alicia Keys musical, was probably
Mhm.
like 2.5 hours, and then Giant, the play with John Lithgow, was like 220. So they were pretty close.
Gosh.
Yeah. And
Does
then
the
I did
pay change depending on the time?
no.
We're gonna stick with El Mary forever. Keep that thing on tour.
Correct.
How do we get it? Encore.
Do it again. We are extended through January right now, so that we love. We're rocking and rolling. So yeah, we're loving it. But it's so much fun. I mean, where else are you going to buy a t-shirt with someone dressed as Mary Todd Lincoln on it? Like, it just is so good.
Also,
It's an
what does your t-shirt collection look like right now since you've moved to New York?
Oh, it's insane. I I've added probably 4 sweatshirts that are all shows, different show shirts, and at least 6 t-shirts, again, all show, because that's what we have to wear at the show if we're selling. And it's my uniform, so I do have to have a new t-shirt and or
Oh
sweatshirt every
no, I have to get a new
darn.
t-shirt. And I don't know if y'all know this about him, but he is a paraphernalia guy. Like anywhere we go, he's getting merch regardless. So the fact that you're getting it on the free, love to hear it.
Very nice. And I have also started a small magnet collection after seeing shows. So my fridge is slowly being covered in magnets as well.
I took a magnet
So
from the show the other day and cut it up because I don't have any. So if you want to ship me some, that'd be great. I got tape on mine.
what show?
Oh, we are awesome. Sorry,
Oh,
I changed the course of our direction. No. I went to Beauty and the Beast.
uh-huh.
And I have not been invited back because I would not shut up. And I was whispering to Trevor the whole time. And he was like, he finally looked at me. He's like, Sierra, because it was funny commentary, obviously. And he's like, you've got to stop. And I was like, great. And then some guy comes on and I was like, that looks like Alvin. And he was like, shut up. So yeah, been to one. And I tell everyone, because we have Broadway in Austin comes on our show all the time. And because of what you have taught me, first and foremost, I want to say this. I went to a single A high school in the middle of nowhere with a very small theater program. I got to do one show at lunchtime. It wasn't a real show once. And I thought it was the most fun thing ever. But because I played sports, I couldn't be a part of it. But the drama, it just wasn't a big department. And now when we have the Heller Awards and people going to the Jimmys, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new world. You introduced me to this world. I've always known what it was, obviously, but I didn't realize it's religious. It is a part of people. It is everything to people. And so because you taught me all the things that you taught me, I now come into another co-host that dies for theater the way that you do. And I can relate. Thank you for teaching me everything. Truly. And to the theater community, I want you to know I respect you. I love you. And I've learned. I really didn't know. I had no idea.
I was going to say, fortunately and unfortunately for Sierra, she has her last 2 jobs, or current job and her last job, she has worked with gay men who love theater
I love
a
it.
lot.
Yeah.
And so she has been subjected to just having that forced upon her.
But how fortunate, because I love it. It's so exciting and so fun to learn. And I love to talk to them. Like you would ask it was either you or Trevor. I feel like it was you. It's like, what is that moment right before you go on backstage? Like, what is that one number that really just resonates with you or you're most excited for? You would ask that. And so now I know, oh my gosh, I'm going to ask that same question. I mean, you really have taught me so many things and it's been amazing. And it's so fun. And Travis, if you're watching, literally if someone's in any type of musical that he has been a part of, which are so many, I'm like, my co-host husband does that. My co-host, and I get immediate respect from the person that came in and they're like, he was a stage manager. I'm like, yeah, currently also it's amazing. So
is happening.
I got the plugs.
I also have an experience similar to Trevor's in that Sierra and I did go see Shrek the musical in Chattanooga. And if you know Sierra, Shrek is a cornerstone in her life. More specifically, Eddie Murphy as Donkey.
Yes. Or as Mushu, but specifically as Donkey.
Sure. So I don't know if I've ever truly heard how that show became such an important thing to you.
So another
Or the
thing,
movie, I should say, not the show, the movie.
yes. Here's the thing. In my current role, I've only been here 7 months, so I'm new to this. Okay. I just quote it all the time. And I don't, Josh pointed it out to me that I quote it so often. And then now that I've come here, and it's like quotes that aren't, it's literally just like the movie script is in my brain at all times. And so they're even like, what is this? Like, they're like, Sierra's obsessed with Shrek. They've gotten me to do certain Shrek things. We had an interview the other day and they were like, by the way, it's the 25th anniversary of Shrek coming up. That's
Yes,
insane.
it is.
We're old, just saying.
Correct.
But I would watch The Prince of Egypt and Shrek on repeat over and over and over. They're my favorite. I just thought Donkey was hilarious. The musical number at the end, which I've already performed for our office here in Austin a million times, and they're like, okay. I had to do it with my Trevor wig on, got to have the props because Barbie's here, so got to switch it up. But yeah, I don't know. I just watched it over and over, and the script, I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning, but I can tell you every single line in the movie Shrek. I don't know how it happened. What is that for you? Like, what is your Roman Empire movie? Like, you can quote it, you can sing, not musical, like not a theatrical, because that would be a lot for you, but like a movie.
Ooh, the first one that comes to mind is Remember the Titans. That is a movie I could watch over and over and over again, and I love it. I haven't watched it in a while, though. I should watch that again.
Wait, should we turn this off and go watch it right now?
Right now. Sorry. Thanks, everyone.
Love you.
I'm trying to, now it's going to be, or like.
Pitch Perfect.
Oh, duh. Yes. I can do the whole, at least from the first one, maybe the second one too, the full, the mashup that they do where they go back and forth. I can do that top to bottom.
The reason that came to my brain is because when we were at your parents' house the first night after Booyahs, we put on with your family Pitch Perfect, and I know it too, but not like you guys. Okay. It was like zoom, 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 zoom. The whole family, everyone, no one was left behind. I think the dog was mouthing it too. Like, everyone knew. And that's
so, okay. This brings up a great question that I've never asked anyone. I'm going to say dad, does your dad have a weird fascination with one movie like that? Because for us, it is Pitch Perfect. For some reason, I can't tell you why, my dad loves that movie and will watch it anytime we turn it on. I don't know why, because it doesn't feel like a movie that Rod would necessarily want to sit down and watch. Papa Rod. But for some reason, we turn it on and he is like locked in.
Honestly, no. My parents don't have anything like that, but like my cousins and I, our movie, and we're going to watch it every time, and we're going to quote it every time, Matilda. Every time.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite quotes then?
Bruce, when he's eating the chocolate cake. Yeah, I can quote stuff.
Look at her. You also, Sound of Music is a big movie for you.
That was a thing too with us. Like I would start like being Miss Hannigan or quoting The Sound of Music, and you were like, how do you know all of these musicals? I'm like, sir, they were movies first. I know the movies. Because I would start quoting like or Rent, 525. That was only because my sister went to Girl State and had the CD, and so I learned the song. So it's just like different little things I pick up on, but I don't even know the origin story. Obviously, I know Annie and Sound of Music, but like I would do random things sometimes, and you'd be like, how do you even know that? I'm like, I have no idea.
But I do. Yeah, that was a fun game Sierra and I would play too, is like we would quote just random parts of songs or movies and see if the other one could finish it or tell us where it was from. Because when you're here,
you're gay. And don't you forget it.
Don't you forget it. Not family, gay. Hold on. I have a few notes here. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything.
Are you editing
Oh,
this? Just curious.
well, yeah, of course.
Okay, good. I'm gonna put some lip gloss on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one thing about Sierra, she loves a lip. She
One thing about
loves.
literally on a desert island, I don't need food, I don't need water, and I don't need matches. Give me my Kylie Jenner lip kit. Okay. Just kidding.
So and that's all.
Wait.
Kylie, sponsor us.
Kylie,
No.
sponsor us.
There's no telling what she's about to bring or
No, it's nothing crazy. I just need a sparkling water. Crack open a cold one. Oh, Josh knows this about me. I drink. This is first and foremost, Josh Robinson, H-E-B, best grocery store in the entire world. It is worth the hype. It's real.
Okay.
Have you heard that ever?
I've heard of them. I don't think I've ever shopped at one, though.
Bruh, it's like a Texas thing. And when I was coming in, like I heard everyone, like they talk about it all the time. All the time. Like it's a grocery store. No. H-E-B, if you are from Texas, if you know, you know. This is unsweetened, sparkling, unflavored water that I drink at room temperature because it tastes like your foot's asleep.
Every part of that sentence was absolutely disgusting.
I thought you knew that about me.
Well, see, then that reminds me how you eat food that you have cooked.
Yeah.
And that Sierra likes to cook a meal. Like, and Sierra's a good cook.
I love to cook.
Loves to cook meals. And then as soon as it is off the stove or out of the oven, she will immediately put it in the fridge so it will cool down before she eats it.
Serial killer behavior.
Correct. The first time I found this out, I said, "You do what?"
Yuck. I know. Picture this, you guys. You order DoorDash. It takes an hour. It was fresh at the DoorDash epicenter. It was fresh at the Chili's where Josh ordered it. It comes. Correct. It's like lukewarm. Perfect.
And see, you and Travis have this. Travis loves a cold, soggy French fry.
Okay. Please don't loop me into that. I do not want a cold, soggy French fry. That should be crispy and hot, or it's just not good later. But I love that for him.
I don't, but it's fine. I don't. Yeah. There were a few things I discovered about Sierra during our time in Chattanooga. That was probably the main one. That she put food immediately out of the oven into the fridge so it would cool down.
In fact, my neighbors, because y'all know I'm best friends with everyone, my neighbors at my condo in Chattanooga, I would go eat dinner with them because literally they went to every show Josh was a part of. They're sending me selfies. One time they found Travis in the crowd, had never met him, sent me a selfie with Travis. Like, they're the best, Karen and Jeff. I love you so much. I would go eat dinner with them, and Karen would be like, "This is fresh out the oven, but look." And she pulled it out of the fridge for me. I just need it just enough so the steam is gone, and then I'm down. Let's go. It might be an impatience thing. Like, I just want to chill down. It's too hot. I can't eat it.
But like, wouldn't the same thing happen if you just let it sit for 5 minutes just on the counter instead of putting it in the fridge? Yeah, but those 5 minutes
turn to 10 and then I burn my tongue. I put it in the fridge. I know what she does. I know exactly. She's the same every time. I bring her out. Perfect. Oh, wait. Can I just say something?
Please.
When have I not? Let's talk about how Travis and now Hunter are the best partners in the world, and also you, because you do it as well. The long distance ain't no joke. Yeah. It ain't no joke. When I met you, I was in long distance and you were too, but then he moved to Chattanooga, and then you guys, for the first time in your whole entire relationship, together in New York. And then he's back on tour because you got to follow your dreams, and you get it, and he gets it, and we just all get it. And I'm 15 hours away from Hunter. I see him anytime I can get on an airplane and see him, which is not a lot because the schedules are busy on the weekends here too. And so, like, shout out to our partners. Let's talk about that. They say, live your dream, and you do it too. It's also, y'all are both doing it. So shout out to you too.
So what have you found works for you guys to like still feel connected even though you are 15 hours apart and are you in this? No, you're in a different time zone too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What have you guys discovered that works for you?
So much communication, obviously. A lot of FaceTimes. He does watch the show, so he feels involved in that way, which is amazing when he can, obviously.
Right.
But honestly, like this round, when me and Josh met, we had met in Arkansas. I moved to Chattanooga. He was still in Arkansas. And we did long distance for like a year and a half.
Mhm.
And it was honestly fine. Like everything was fine. But I could also hop in a car if I needed to and be 6 hours away. Now, if you know me on the roads, you don't want me driving on those roads, especially in Texas. It's a disaster. Also, why do I have to pay to drive? There's tolls everywhere. I'm spending like
Oh,
$300 a month on tolls. It's so
no.
dumb. You don't even know what that's like. You haven't driven a car in weeks, years.
Months even.
So crazy, actually. And selling your car was so sad.
It was,
It was really
but she
sad.
has a great life now, I'm sure. Love
I'm
you,
so happy for
Jolene.
her. Yeah, somebody in Chattanooga is whipping that thing. But yeah, no. What works for us? I'll tell you. When
Tell
we
me.
are saying goodbye and crying, yes, both of us at the airport, always having something else booked. If we don't, we're screwed.
Yes.
What helps you guys? Tell me. I need to
That is very similar. We usually have already planned, like I know through June when I'm going to see him next, like
Me
through
too.
the end of June. So that helps, and we do almost every day we talk on the phone.
Yeah.
For us though, we usually aren't texting a ton during the day just so we actually have things to talk about once we're on the phone. So if anything, we'll text to be like, remind me to like just a quick like remind me to tell you about
Yeah.
this, like a few words to jog my memory because we all know ADHD is strong here. It is strong and takes a hold. And planning, and yeah, I think those are the two main things. We're not always FaceTiming. We'll FaceTime occasionally, but just some form of like actually hearing each other's voices. Because I think a lot of people have realized like texting, you might misconstrue how it's being said, or
Mhm.
so talking on the phone in some capacity, 99% of the time every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, all of my friends that see us doing this distance are like, I could never do that. So it is so
Mm,
special. You and Travis, Hunter being so game for like, I just moved to the city that you live in, but I want you to chase your dreams and never questioning it once, like, go move off. And this round has been really hard. I think it's also because I'm in this giant city, and you are too. I know you're a lot bigger, brother. But like I'm in this big city, and I am fully like alone for the first time. I have made
mm,
friends, I have work friends, but like my whole life is my job, and I'm thankful that's what I want because we're so busy Monday to Sunday, always like it never ends. And so I just feel like in Chattanooga, if I wanted to get my nails done and I wanted a friend, Hunter came with. If I want to go do
yeah.
this, Hunter went. Or if he was doing something or playing pickleball or whatever, I would go with. So it's just like losing, honestly, my bestie. It's not even about the love aspect. We're good on that. It's just like having your bestie to do things with that is like so sad.
Yes. No,
you know?
agreed. There are many days where I'm like, I just wish Travis was here so we could go do this thing to like it would just like because then I don't have to, you don't have to worry about finding someone or texting and seeing who's available. And it's just like, nope, you're here. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go. We're gonna
I
do
get a
it
plus
together.
one to everything. And I'm like, so
Exactly.
Deb from accounting, what are you doing tonight? No, I have made really great friends here. I'm just saying it would be nice.
No, he's the first friend. He's the
Of
best.
course.
He's the yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Also meeting Hunter for the first time, I remember thinking, one, I completely understand why they're together, how they work so well. And two, he is Sierra, just toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
So like there is a little calm in the relationship, but not by much. And it is so fun to be around you two together. It is a
Oh,
hoot and a half. You guys are the best. Um, and may we never forget the picture of him with those fake arm tattoos.
hallelujah, honey. That's when
Hunter,
I fell in
listen,
love.
listen, if you ever go for it, my friend, I support.
We're
We
flying
support.
bridge. We're getting it done, honey. We're getting it done. No, I know. I begged him 100 times, and his mom was like, Sierra, don't beg him. I'm like, wow. Listen, if your body's a temple, have you been to a Catholic church? Gorgeous.
And Becky, that's for you.
Becky,
That's
that
for
was for
you.
you. God bless. Father Zach. Amen.
Oh, I love you, friend.
I
I
love
love
you.
you
Love
so
you
much.
so much.
I think there was one other thing on here. Um, oh, I think one other thing that I loved about the show is how you were always game for doing anything, including playing games. And shout out to our pal Gino D,
Shout out Gino
who
D.
was always, and I'm hoping I can have him on the show soon, who was always up for our stupid, silly stuff as well, and weekly came and played a game with us. Um, I just, I'm so thankful I got to have that experience of that show with you, because
I
I
know.
think anyone else, it would have been a very different experience.
Absolutely the
Uh-huh.
truth. And it just coming to work, and obviously, like, there's no qualms about it. We loved it. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing, but it was a labor. I'm trying to stop doing the double thing. Labor, double, too much. It was a true labor of love. And if I were not coming into someone I respect, first of all, like, number one thing was respecting you. You were my friend first, but like, I believed in and respected everything that you said. And when you're friends first and then you went to this role of executive producer, that's not always the case. But I never felt anything but like, I agree with what Josh is saying. You worked harder than anyone else in the room, always. And the fact that I knew I had someone, no matter what, that had my back and like genuinely loved me. That is something you can't buy in a store. Our chemistry was insane on air, obviously. But like, the fact that I walked into work and I knew I had someone that would ride for me, that loved me, that cared about me. And we ain't even got to, I felt the same way. I told everybody I met, always, I still do. So the mutual love and respect and like really, truly being friends at the end of the day, but also working really, really, really hard together. It's hard. We were work husband and wife, and they say don't work with your partner, but we did it.
We did it. We did.
And we made something really special and really wonderful. And the amount of viewers to this day that still reach out. I mean, I'll post something about my show now, and they're like, "We miss you in Chattanooga." I'm like, "Don't you know I miss you too? I love Chattanooga. Chattanooga is so special. I really miss it."
Agreed. I got to go back last September to see our good friend Literary Inc., Jennifer Edge. But it was, that city will always hold a very special place in my heart. So I'm very glad that we have that connection. Are there any other stories you wanted to tell or things that have come up in your brain since we finally found the time to do this?
Gosh.
I know that's probably the hardest question I'm going to ask
for
you.
us, and it was like, don't forget Barbie, which was easy. It was on my nightstand. Like, can't forget that. And for the first time in its existence, this came off, so I could like not show it. This has always been and always will be.
I can't
Clip it for the thumbnail. Just kidding. All right, Josh. As you know, because of you and your love and your support and all the connections at Chattanooga and all the things, you are living your dream in New York City, and I am now living my dream, getting to host this show in Austin. And it is so fun for me to watch Josh Robinson do his thing in the city that you love the most. Literally, you cried on air about New York. Like, this man loves New York City, unlike anything I've ever seen. And so the fact that you're there, you're living your dream, you're in your city, you get to see theater every day of your life. The viewers could be confused. What's up? What is he doing? Obviously, you're hosting a podcast and you're doing theater. But if you had it your way, let's manifest. Like, what would your life look like right now, besides getting to do all the things that you love? But on top of that, you're just so creative and so talented. So I'm just curious.
If I could either report on theater for one of a TV station or my own thing, I think that would be an absolute blast. I would love to get to share. I think there's just constantly stories, like the people I've met from working. I've worked in several theaters now, and a lot of the people that are in those theaters have been there for decades. So they've seen shows and celebrities, and people become celebrities. And it is incredible the experiences so many of these people have. And so I would love to get to share those in some capacity, in some way, in a more like consistent and like really kind of hashed out thing. Or if Kelly Clarkson just wants me to take over once she leaves her show, happily we'll do that as well. And
how have we gone this entire hour without talking about it? How do you feel?
I'm happy that she is like, I think she is doing this because it'll be best for her. And I think she's like moving back to whatever state she's from.
Hold on.
I
Is
want
it
to say
not Kentucky?
I want to say Montana.
No. Hold on.
We're journalists, everyone. We know what we're doing.
And he's a super fan. I know it's Texas. I know it's Texas.
Yes. Duh. Yes, you're right.
Sitting in this big old state, not knowing.
I'm happy for her. I don't think I fully realized how long that show has actually been going. Like she's been on there for 7 or 8 years. Like it's almost a decade.
And
it's
here's
a long
the thing,
time.
That's a freaking long time to stay in one place. And I mean, it's the biggest talk show. We love her. She has the best guests. No one can karaoke. Like the replacement. I like the idea of Pink, but I don't know if she has like the charisma that Kelly has to just make you feel so at home. Love Pink, no shade. Who am I to talk? Okay. But I just think like Kelly doesn't need the show. Like she's done it.
Right.
She's gone through some really, really hard stuff and she misses her kids. And I just am down with her stopping because like she's leaving it in a great place. And like, she's not leaving because she had to. She's not leaving because something bad happened. She built an empire. Time to go. Like I'm here for it. But we're going to miss her, of course.
Oh, yes. Pink is hosting the Tonys this year, in case you haven't heard this piece of news.
That's crazy.
So I'm very interested to see how that goes. I know she's a lover of theater. I saw her at the 10th anniversary Hamilton performance. She was at The Great Gatsby recently. So like she's seeing shows, and her daughter, I think, is also a very big fan of like theater in general. So I'm very interested to see how that goes.
How do you feel about Timothée Chalamet talking about ballet with Matthew McConaughey?
I will say I've not seen the full. I've been very bad about keeping up with like news in general over the last year.
Who are you?
I know. It's because I don't work in it anymore, so I don't have to, and therefore I don't want to.
Wash your hands. It's amazing. I'm happy for you.
But it is wild to like say anything negative or that like it's not important or whatever his exact wording was when it's an art form that's been around for centuries.
Right. It's insane to say.
Yeah. And I just like, I would love to know the thought process behind letting those words come out of your mouth.
I'm also thankful that Matthew McConaughey did not get flack that I saw because he was hosting, because he was like, okay. As an interviewer, when you're put in that position, like your mind's whirling, like you can't. I didn't see a lot of flack for Matthew. By the way, I do know him.
Have you gotten to chat with him?
Thank you so much for asking. Yes, I have. And it was actually really funny. I don't know if you'll use this, but this is actually a hilarious story that like Trevor and Ann think is so funny. So I'm going to tell you, and you don't have to use it. So we're on the red carpet with it's Mac, Jack, and McConaughey. Mac Brown is like a very famous Texas football coach for years and years and years. And then Jack Ingram is a musician, and then Matthew McConaughey is Matthew McConaughey. So they have this amazing gala every single year, and it's all their different philanthropic things that they do, and then they all come together and raise all the money. It's all for children. It's amazing. So we're on the red carpet, and they gave 3 total interviews to like TV stations, and they gave a few to like content creators and like Hollywood Report, People Magazine, Page 6. Those people were over here, but like TV was here first. So my friend Blake, I've made friends with every other host. My friend Blake goes first. Tiara's Texas. She's iconic. You need to look her up. She's amazing. But her show's only on Sundays. Tiara's Texas goes, and then it's my turn. So I'm third. So my good side, obviously, happened to be my Matthew, okay? So we're going, and the way that we are feeding the Osmo, by the way, no one here knew what an Osmo was. We have one, but every other station is like, what is that? And we're like, the best quality camera you've ever seen in your entire life.
And it's this big.
It's literally this big. The camera's this big, and it's the best quality, and it gives like a wide shot. It's perfect for red carpets because they always talk about how they had all this equipment for South by Southwest and all these other things, and like it's been life changing. Anyways, so we take the Osmo microphone because we were just gonna do, and I was like, I need a mic flag to look official, and so we rigged up something, and so we have like Velcro on it, and we have the Osmo and the phone Velcroed onto the stick mic that's not plugged in. The stick mic is literally for show only.
So smart.
Yeah.
So smart.
Yeah. I would like to say I think I came up with that. Just saying. Because I was like refusing not to use the mic flag. And so we're like, we'll figure something out. Anyways, so we get up there and I'm right beside Matthew McConaughey finally. And I like go like this. They fall off with the Velcro. I'm like, shoot. So I go down, scrambling to pick them up. I had on press-on nails from Shein. Did you know it was? $1.99. Shein. They were so cute. And as I'm picking it up, Matthew's just like making conversation. He's like, wow, Sierra. Or he didn't know my name. I'm making things up. He said, wow, your nails look amazing. And I came up and I was like, thank you so much. And he said, I forget what his daughter's name is, but he grabs his daughter. She had not been on the red carpet at all, brings her over to look at them. And she was like, he said, where did you get those done? We need to go there. And I said, ATX Nails. Don't know if it's real business. Didn't know. Googled it later. It was real. Shout out. She can get some business. But I said, I could not tell Matthew McConaughey I had on $1 nails from a terrible website that you shouldn't be supporting, but I have to because it's cheap. Shein. So it's like ATX Nails. So it's like a running joke in our office, like ATX Nails. I'm like, okay. Like his wife and daughter came to see.
That
Another
is
funny thing.
incredible.
People, when I was telling everyone like leading up, I was like, I think I'm going to get to interview Matthew McConaughey. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Because when I've told them other people, they're excited. But like my parents don't really know Glenn Powell. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
It just depends on, but Matthew's for everyone. Every rom-com, every whatever. And so my sister actually said it, which is so funny because she doesn't know pop culture ever. And she was like, see what he smells like. And that's like a real thing. Everyone, maybe we shouldn't put this in, but that's a real, you can if you want, but that's a real thing that people talk about because he like doesn't use deodorant or anything because he's all natural. And so multiple people when I was like, which I wasn't running around telling it, I was just telling it to my family.
Right.
And I think even dad was like, see what he smells like. And I was like, what? That's so weird. So anyways, I do the interview and everyone was like, so what did he smell like? Even a random coworker was like, what did he smell like? It's just a thing. And I said, I have no idea. I was sucking in so hard. I don't think I breathed once. I was trying to be skinny. I didn't sniff a thing. I couldn't breathe.
And also like, if he didn't smell good, would you want to tell people that?
I would never, ever, ever tell a soul. Listen, brother, if you smell bad, your secret's safe with me, but I'll never know because I'm going, welcome back to the show, Matthew. Thank you.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. And I love it. I have to run. We have to wrap up. I know that we'll find more time to chat, but I end the podcast always by asking, why do you think storytelling is so important?
I think storytelling is so important because without storytelling, we wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't have a Bible. I wouldn't have history. I wouldn't have anything to watch and to know. Those that don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. Like we would know nothing, period. That's the first words I taught my little cousin Ellie when she was learning to speak. Those that don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. We have to know. Storytelling is so important. TV, you think it's a dying media? No, it is important. Everyone's watching. People are turning it on. That's all they've ever known. They're stuck in their ways. They turn on the television. You doing this is important. The whole premise of your podcast is so smart. You are taking people's stories and you are putting them on tape. If you guys didn't know that already, you're not as smart as me, which is crazy because I'm a genius. But like storytelling is so important because people deserve to have their stories told. In Chattanooga, if you weren't out there talking to the LGBTQ community, their stories would never have been told. If I wasn't, dang it, that was so good. But like, what did I do?
You Women's History Month, Pink. You had
breast cancer awareness. That was.
Yeah. You were covering very important topics as well. And I think that's also what made our show so cool was we found things that we were interested in or could connect to in some way and share those stories too. And I think it worked very, very well.
And if we are not sharing stories, or if you're not a journalist and you're not sharing stories, first of all, your life's not as much fun. We just sat here and chatted about silly, fun little stories all day long. And that was so freaking fun, just going down memory lane. I just feel like storytelling is the most important, not to Timothy Chalamet, one of the most important forms of art. And it's important. And we have to share our stories and we have to tell the stories that are important because the world is on fire and we got to show the good side of everything going on and speak truth and life into everyone.
Amen. Amen. And I think that's what I love about being here in the city is storytelling is the basis for so much of what is happening.
Yeah.
So it's always very fun and very cool to just see how people are sharing their own stories and telling stories of people that are no longer with us or about event. Like, yes, it is just, it's so, so good.
So good.
And you're an incredible storyteller, friend. I'm so thankful that I have you in my life. And you're never getting rid of me and I'm never getting rid of you.
We will
So
never get rid of one another. I love you. I'm
no,
so thankful for the random text messages every other day. I'm so
I,
thankful to know you, and thank you for having me on. This is an honor.
of,
And also, my
of-
co-host told me to tell you that he's ready to come on. He needs to fill out the paperwork, but he's going too soon.
perfect. Perfect. Yes. We'll have the one and only Trevor Scott on the show very soon. If we want to follow along with all of your stories and all the fun things you have going on, friend, how can we do that? Where should we go?
So my name is Sierra Waggoner, and if you smush them together, it's Swaggoner. And I would show you that neon sign that says it right there, but one, I think I'm growing out of that, and it's giving like narcissism. I just didn't know. I didn't want to put live, laugh, love, so we did the handle, but it's SWAGGONE with 3 R's at Swaggoner. You can find me on every platform with that name. Follow along, and you'll probably see some Josh memes and all the things I'm up to. A little storytelling for you, honey. Thank you for having me on Stories on Pod. It was so fun. Stories
You're
on
very
Tape
welcome.
on the pod.
You're so welcome, friend. And thank you for sharing your stories with us today.
Of course, we have so many more we weren't allowed to say. Oh, one time me and Josh got a couples massage. Thank you. On television. Love ya. Bye.